Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengals fan on most of the major platforms, and I'm joined here with superfan Devin Circus, and this is the Week 3 Jungle Talk preview show. I know it's all right. So here it is, first show after Joe. He's having surgery tomorrow. We'll go through all the stuff, but still kind of I'm just shaking my head, you know.
It's just yet again for the third time in 6 years, kicking the balls.
Yeah, and they're weird, the wrist thing and this. I mean, it's better than it being a knee or something where he has to go, but still, but we'll get into all that. Hey, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It's all we ask. Support the channel, show by fans, for fans. We don't do this for a living. We both have jobs that pay our bills to live in houses. So, but just support the channel, hit the subscribe button, give us the thumbs up. It helps us out with the YouTube analytics. So that's all we ask, support the channel. So we'll hit the some of the news for the week, and then we'll go in and we'll preview this game this week. Like I said, Burrow surgery set for Friday. We'll save that for last because we'll get into talk
Yeah.
the most. They elevated Ripon for to be the backup for Browning. Signed
Oh,
Michael
it's
White.
Ripon. It's not White or
No,
the other guy.
White and Clifford got added
Yeah.
to the practice
Oh, they're staying on
squad.
the practice squad. Okay.
Right, right. And then there were these rumors that we were talking to the Giants about Jameis Winston trade. I don't know how real any of those were. I
That
mean,
was not real.
yeah, I didn't know. It's
That
not
that's that's a very, I don't want to insult any. Sorry. Okay. It's an easy leap to go there
right.
because he's been the eternal backup for 3, 4, 5 years now and has been pretty darn electric in at Tampa as the backup, and then at
New Orleans.
New Orleans, and
Yeah.
then Cleveland last year. But our offense is different. It's very unique. I'm not going to say it's built for Browning. It's obviously built for Burrow, but Browning's been in the system for 3, 4 years,
Yeah.
and it's not just chuck the ball downfield and hope that T and Jamar win the jump ball. That's what Jameis does best. This offense is screens, slants, get the ball out quick, keep rounding upright, which is what they did when Burrow went out. And no, this is always going to be Browning's job. My favorite was all the Kirk Cousins discussion. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
I
No.
admit, I called Jake on Monday or Tuesday. I'm like, am I crazy to think Kirk Cousins, veteran, he can come in and learn a system? He's like, Dad, did you forget about his contract? I'm like, oh yeah, I did. Kirk
Yeah, we
Cousins
don't want him. I
$30
mean,
million
that's
dollars.
yeah.
And even if the Falcons were going to eat most all of it, that's not the right play.
Yeah, no, I don't even really like Cousins. Cousins has never really won a clutch game. When they've had to have the what Browning did on this last game, Cousins rarely does.
Yeah.
Whenever they had a win in your in game when he was at Washington, he never delivered.
Yep.
Never.
Yep.
So clutch is clutch. That's not so. But well, Burrow. So let's get into Burrow. Surgery set for Friday. Everything I've heard is
He's done for the year.
3 months is as optimistic. I mean, that's
He's done for
everything
the
goes
year.
right. His rehab goes quickly, and maybe he could play the last 3 games of the season. But this is typically a 4 to 6 month injury, from what I'm reading. So
Let's
unless
let's see in
all the
training camp, Joe.
yeah, and unless all the planets align and we are, in the heat of the playoff contention and, maybe he's available last game of the season and into the it's just we have to assume he's done for the year. I mean, that's my feeling, and are we a playoff team with Browning? Yeah,
No,
we could be. We could be. We there's I looked at the schedule, obviously relooked at it.
the Dolphins could be a playoff team if they win 8 out of their next 12.
Yeah, but we don't have to. Our numbers aren't like that. If we assume, let's go on the assumption
Okay.
that we're
Well,
winning the last three. Let's go on the assumption that we're winning the last three. There
okay.
needs to be 5 wins in this group of 12 games. That takes us to right after the Baltimore game. And there could be 5 wins. But this is when we're getting into our preview here. This game becomes a critical game for us. This is one of the winnable games. It's not, I'm not bashing Minnesota in any way, but like we caught Jacksonville early, we're catching them. McCarthy hasn't even found his stride. Let's be honest. JJ
He's
has
not
had
playing.
one good quarter, but I'm just talking about the team in itself, has had one good quarter out of the last eight. All the other seven quarters, they've gotten a field goal. That's it. They had that 21-point quarter to steal the Bears game. They looked horrible against Atlanta. We're catching this team, and no Aaron Jones this week. I mean, if you look at Minnesota's injury report, I mean, there's a lot of bodies there.
Yeah, the only
So
problem is Wentz is better than JJ right now, and Jordan Mason's better than Aaron Jones. That's the only problem.
yeah, well, the biggest problem is that Brian Flores has a good defense and they could
Correct.
get to Browning. But
Correct.
this is a game, this game really is going to tell us a lot. I may have a completely different answer for whether we are a playoff team or not after we see how they play this week. This is a game they have to show us that they can win. This is out of the grabbing 5 wins out of the next 12. This is one of the wins you have to get.
You're also assuming a 3-game winning streak at the end.
So, and I'm also assuming a 3-game winning streak at the end. But we are talking about, think about it. If
I
we
know.
if we got 5 wins, let's say we got 5 wins and this is one of them, that puts us coming into the last 3 weeks of the season with not a bad record, and it is the Dolphins, the Cardinals, and the Browns. So,
Yep.
and I'm saying we lose both Baltimore games, we lose Buffalo, we lose Green Bay, we lose Detroit. I mean, I'm checking those off as losses, you know.
Right. Right.
So. So, we're gonna find out a lot this week.
The crazy thing is, Mark, is this team could win this week, could win next week, could be 4-0, and still could miss the playoffs.
Yeah,
They could
they
pull a
could.
Chargers like collapse.
Well, it's how they respond and how they play. Can they win the Thursday night Steeler game, right? Or one of the two Steeler
Bears, the
games.
Jets. I mean,
Bears,
look,
Jets.
there's that Steelers at home becomes tougher, although the Steelers don't look very good and their defense.
No, they look terrible.
But I mean, that 5-game stretch with 4 of them at homes still should be a 4 out of 5 wins
Right.
from Steelers, Jets, Bears, Steelers, Patriots.
Yeah.
That still should be 4 out of 5 wins.
Right. I said the wins are there because and I know here I drank the Kool-Aid when I put a $500 bet down on the over 9.5 wins. So that's what I'm looking at. It's like, can we get to 10? Not just the playoffs, can that would win a bet for me. So I have incentive to root for this, but I'm very much a realist. I also will
No,
start gambling and stockpiling the 500 on my account. So it's just going to take 500 out of my balance,
I'm,
you
I'm
know.
glad. I'm glad to hear that it takes bets for you to root for the Bengals.
So it doesn't take bets for me.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
kidding.
But
I'm
so
kidding.
yeah, so let's but this game takes on added importance because this is because of the state of Minnesota, this is a winnable game for us.
Mhm.
Okay, but like I said, we really don't know what we're going to see from either team. Wentz has played for 6 teams in 6 years. He holds the ball a long time. So yeah, like I said, it's this is a game. So let's go with our negatives. Let's go with our concerns first. What are your concerns against the Vikings?
Every facet of our offense outside of Jamar and T.
Yeah, that's it.
I,
Outside of the first couple drives in the Browns game, we haven't established the run. Chase Brown
and
looked
funny
great.
that I've had a lot of conversations with people on Chase Brown this week. I think he's the biggest loser in Ryan. I used to work with a guy named Ryan Browning, and I've always called Jake Browning Ryan Browning.
Right,
Uh, I think Chase Brown is the biggest loser. I'm not calling him a loser. I just mean takes the biggest
right,
downturn with
right,
Burrow being out and Browning at center. Look, it's not like they're going to get 8 in the box. There's too much talent on with Jamar and T, but teams will shut down the run. They can still go 2 safeties deep to prevent Browning beating him deep with Jamar and T. But I truly think teams are going to tee off on the run so that they can control the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I
And they
think
know
Chase
we want to run.
struggled mightily, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Brian Flores is more than capable of doing that this week.
Yeah.
I
The,
mean,
the one thing I read, and I know we're talking negatives, and I'm taking us
well,
all up.
concerns. We're talking about,
Well, then I'll save this for a positive or what I want to see. But yeah, concerns. The corners have been absolutely dreadful. There's been so much space. We talked about it on the post, and we talked about it last week. Is it the scheme? Are we what we do? Are we doing what we're supposed to do? And I think it was you or Heath that made the comment when we're in one-on-one coverage, we're not doing terribly. I don't know. There's so much space. It's hard to be in one-on-one coverage. There's times where we're not getting enough pressure, which makes covering a lot harder. So, look, it all goes together. I mean, how many times last year did we talk about the three levels of defense? And if the first level ain't doing squat, it makes it a lot harder on the second level. And if the second level is not doing it, the third level's got no shot. It all blends together. But from a defensive standpoint, Carson Wentz is a veteran. Justin Jefferson is really, really freaking good. TJ Hawkinson has looked horrible. They don't have a second wide receiver. Naylor is okay. This offense doesn't scare you,
no.
but our defense scares me against any offense.
Well, the defense is still making strides. They're still coming together. But yeah, I think the key matchup in this game is our offense to their defense. Can we score?
Yeah.
That's the key matchup in this game. I looking at the 8 quarters of football we've seen from Minnesota. I think we can keep this game close. So the question is can our offense do enough to steal this game in Minnesota? That's to me, that's that it was, and I had my concerns. Brian Flores, Minnesota defense, Bengals O line, Bengals run game. I like I said, they have Justin Jefferson. We've seen enough out of Battle and Dax Hill and our secondary to where I think they can contain the one big threat that Minnesota's have, and we haven't seen their offense really do anything. Like I said,
Right.
outside of that one quarter, the fourth quarter against Chicago, where they put up 21 points, it's been 7 quarters, 7 field goals.
Yep. Yep. The
So,
the biggest thing that has impacted Minnesota has not been JJ McCarthy. It's not been that he's a rookie. It's not been that he's awful. It's been their offensive line.
yeah,
I'm bummed Jake's not here because he could have talked about this. He did a ton on his show Sunday night about that Vikings Falcons game, and him and I talked about it. That offensive line is very hurt, very young, and it's got some holes. They're getting Darislav back. He practiced in full yesterday. If you follow the injury report, you saw that he was a DNP today. If you dig in deeper, you realize that that's a load management.
right,
That feels like that's what they're going to be doing with him most of the season. He did not play week 1 and 2. The guy's a borderline all pro. He changes a lot. He's
right,
on the left side, which means that's Trey. I'm not expecting Shamar Stewart to play. Look, I would love to see Trey play on the left side, especially if Shamar's out, and put Osai on Darislav's side and let Trey work from the left side. I don't know that they do that. We predominantly see Trey from the right, but if Trey can't beat Darislav and Trey's not getting to Wentz, and look, Wentz can move. If we're not putting pressure on Wentz and making it uncomfortable for him,
right.
then we're going to have some problems.
Yeah, no, it's so it's you summed it up really well. And yeah, I'm counting on not seeing Shamar this week because he hasn't practiced either day.
Yeah.
Um, so we have to
Yeah.
assume he's
So I don't
not
know if
playing.
that's a Cy Murphy or a combination of the two, probably a little combination of the two.
Right,
And we touched on Jordan Mason will be starting at running back. Jones is out. Jordan Mason's not as much of a threat out of the backfield as Aaron Jones is. Aaron Jones is a great receiver,
right,
but Jordan Mason's a good running back. He's a better running back than Aaron Jones at this stage of their careers.
right. But I still feel like we can contain this offense.
We can, just a
The
matter of
question
will.
is, yeah, do we have a scheme, where Browning can put up some points, without the help of a pass interference penalty late in the game that, on a fourth down play. So, we're very fortunate to be 2-0. So the question is can we build on that? Can we get to 3-0? Can we steal one in Denver, get to 4-0, and then get into our stretch where, yeah, there's games we're not going to win. We're not looking at it right now. We're not going to beat Green Bay. We're not. This team's not going to beat Buffalo. Going to Buffalo and win. It's so we have to get the wins while we can.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, and we kind of indirectly, touched on all the pros. That I was saying no Aaron Jones, outside of the one quarter, the Bears haven't really shown us anything. Um, the big matchup, like I said, our offense against their defense. I
Yeah.
I think that's the key
Yeah.
right
The
there.
one thing that I want to see the most, and I wish I remember if it was a random fan or reporter that I saw the tweet this morning. The number one thing that I want to see this offense do, obviously, we know we're going to get a lot of slants, a lot of quick ball release from Browning. I want to see throws behind the line of scrimmage. You
Right.
know, close your eyes and imagine Joe Burrow throwing the screen at the line of scrimmage to the top of the screen to Jamar. And how many times has Jamar made one or two guys miss and taken it 65 yards for a touchdown? I can see it in my sleep, and
Right.
it's absolutely glorious. We got to do a lot of that. T as well. The slant to T over the middle is freaking unstoppable. Slant to Jamar over the middle is unstoppable. I think that this is a Gesicki game. Gesicki's king of the short
Right.
pass, 7 yard slant. But I want to see, 6, 7, 8 receptions minimum each for T, Jamar, and Gesicki. And I don't need what's the stat air yards. Just get short completions and let them do our thing.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Well put. So Vegas has this. We're a 3-point dog. It's in Minnesota. So essentially, this is a coin flip game.
Coin flip.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, if this was in Cincinnati, we'd be a 3-point favorite based
Yeah.
on what Vegas is saying. They've got the over under at 42 and a half. So that means they're seeing kind of a 23-20 game, with the Minnesota winning. My prediction, I'll just give it now. I'm going to flip that score. I have us like 24-21. I think we do enough this week. I have more faith in our offense scoring on Minnesota than I do based on the 7 of the 8 quarters that I've seen from Minnesota. I think our defense has played well enough to keep this game close, and I think we do enough. So that's my prediction. I know it's a homer prediction, but that's what I'm going with. What are your thoughts on your prediction for the game?
Well, I'm throwing Minnesota's first two games out the window. You got a rookie quarterback that, playing one game on prime time. Actually, both games were prime time, weren't they?
Yeah,
Monday
yeah,
night, Sunday night. It's a
yeah,
lot to ask of a rookie that hasn't played in 2 years and first time in the league. The injuries to the O line, they're getting Darislaw back, which I have as the biggest factor in this game. Um, do I could go either way. I've got the utmost confidence in this team. I'd love to see us win. I don't see it happening. I've got 23-17 Vikings.
All right. So we've got a split
Yeah,
decision
I got
here.
Flores. I got Flores shutting us down.
He was the number one thing on my concerns list is the
Yeah,
coach. He'll have his guys ready to play. He'll have a scheme that's going to be effective. Brian Flores is a good coach. He
yeah.
really
And
is.
the best thing that happened to us is that when he left Miami, he went to the NFC. So we only see him once every 4 years. But
Yeah.
here we are. This is our once in every 4 years.
Yeah. So this is really one of those games. I don't think either fan base knows what they're going to see this week. That's why I
Correct.
think Vegas has this.
Right.
I mean, literally, it's 3 points is what you get for home field.
Right, right.
So
And
they,
I should point out that too, Darius is a big factor to me. I think Wentz stepping up is going to be a major, major difference than McCarthy because, like I said, throw McCarthy's results out, first time out, a dead offensive line. Darius back changes everything, and I think Wentz is going to be just fine.
all right. Well, we'll
That's
see
why I
what
got the
happens.
Vikes.
Put your predictions, guys, put your predictions in the comments. Curious. Am I right? Is Devin right? Who do you agree with? Let's throw it down there. Anything else you want to add? Oh, by the way, Jake did give us two picks in college football. If you teased both of his picks last week, now the Vandy pick was great. I should have just money lined that straight, but I ended up parlaying it with Duke, who did not cover, did not win, or yeah, did not win the game against Tulane. But if you teased them both, you won them both. So obviously didn't even worry about Vandy because they won outright. So I ended up the teaser card I had with those two games was a winner. So his two games this week, he's got Florida over Miami, and he's got I think it's East Carolina's playing BYU. So both are dogs. Check it
Yep,
out. But
yep.
these are the
East
two picks
Carolina is
he's
getting
given us.
6.5 at home.
Yeah. So I teased them both. I've got, the 13 and a half with East Carolina, and I've got even more points. I think I have over 2 touchdowns with Florida. So he thinks Florida Miami is going to be a close game. So those are his 2 picks. Like I said, if you've been following him all year, he does very well on the college. The Jake Circus podcast, you can listen to his picks, but he wasn't able to make it today, but we did get his picks in there, so I didn't want to disappoint. And
Jake's a DNP today, did not participate.
yeah, he's a DNP also. So
We didn't talk. I think we touched on Shamar. He didn't practice today or yesterday. Same with CTV. Didn't practice
well,
yesterday or
CTB
today.
was limited yesterday and not
Oh,
practicing today.
limited yesterday and a
Yeah.
DNP today.
So
So I'm assuming that's going to mean more Josh Newton, right?
yeah, and there's still CTB could play. Shamar not playing either day. I got to
Shamar,
think they're holding him out. I got to think he comes back. He gets the extra day also because we're Monday night the following week in
right,
Denver, right? Yeah.
right, right.
So he gets the extra day if you hold him out. So we're going on that assumption. Anything else you want to add? I think yeah, that's
No,
it.
let's
Here we are in the
see what we can
post.
do.
Yeah, here we are. Like I said, we're gonna find out a lot about this team this week. So we'll see what we've got. If you don't support the panel, please support the channel. It's all we ask by Fan Show fans. Hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up for us, and we'll be back right after the game on Sunday with a recap. And hopefully I'm right.
I
There you
hope
go.
you're right. I hope
Yeah.
you're right. I want to be wrong.
Oh, there are times where I have literally said, I'm taking the opponent, but please, I would love to be wrong. I mean, we're hardcore fans. That's why we do this.
I genuinely think this is the first time I've picked against the Bengals
Yeah.
against anybody other than the Ravens or the Chiefs.
Yeah. I think it's the optimist in me. Like this is a game, if we're going to pull off those 5 wins in the group of 12 we talked about, this is one we got to get.
Have to have. Have to have.
Have to have it. So
Yep.
we'll find out a lot this week. So everybody have a great rest of your week. Check us out after the game on Sunday, and I'm going to say, "Hoo day, everybody!
Who dey?
Take care."